Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. You're watching In Deep on the Delta, and you're watching another episode of Bass Fishing Insights. This is a series of videos that we talk about everything and anything that has to do with bass fishing. Today I'm going to talk about a safety issue, and I'm going to have to scold a lot of you folks. And let's just talk about with what I've been using lately, a standard jerk bait. Doesn't have to be a jerk bait. It can be any treble hook bait. Ricos, topwaters, especially multiple treble hooks. We're getting out of fall into winter. A lot of us are using these jerk baits. We're catching a lot of fish, and a lot of the fish are on the smaller side. Maybe what we call rats here on the California Delta. They could be anywhere from 10 to 12, 14 inches. Those are the most dangerous fish that you can catch when you're trying to release them off of a treble hook bait. And what I see a lot of anglers doing is you ask them for their pliers to release a fish, and they pull out a little 4-inch needle nose plier. This is the most dangerous thing that you can do. When you get those smaller fish, you tend to drop your guard. It's just a little fish, blah, blah, blah. Those are the most active fish. You pull them in, they're dangling by one hook. They're bouncing around. You go down to get the bait off of out of the fish. Your hand is way too close to these other treble hooks. That fish makes one little tail kick, especially when you're holding them up, with one hand. Like we generally have the fish like this. We got a fish hanging onto this thing. You put your hand down here. That fish pops up. The bait pops up, catches the hook in your hand. You're in big trouble. Don't mess around with these things. Go out. And I'm not telling you what to buy. I've got a grip from the Bubba company, and it has a 6-inch nose on it. So when I get that fish, my hand's far enough away from those hooks generally that I'm not going to get the hook in my hand. Don't care what style you buy or what brand you buy it from, but get something like this where you can get your hand away from that bait. I love the Bubbas. If you can afford them, they're not cheap. They work well, but there's a lot of brands out there that you can get for maybe $15, $18, $20 that will work just fine for you. Another thing that I don't like seeing people do is they'll get this thing and they'll look at it and they'll put their face up there. That is a bad deal, because as these things pop around, the fish will tend to give a tail kick or something. They'll pop around. I have seen people that have had these hooks in their face. You don't want to keep these baits when they're connected to a fish anywhere around your face. And I'll tell you, whether it's in your face or whether it's in your hand, but when you have a 12-inch bass with one hook in the fish's mouth and one hook in your hand, and that fish is moving around, that is big. That's big time problem. It's happened to me, and I've seen it happen to several other people. Another thing I will say, when you have that situation, especially if you have a striper out here on a jerkbait, and you've got that 18, 20-inch striper, one of the things I keep is a wet towel, and that way I can keep this on my deck. I'll put the fish on it. I'll roll the wet towel over the fish so I can actually secure that fish and then work to get that bait out. If you are not an experienced angler, sometimes you get a 22, 24, 26-inch striper, you're going to release it. It's a two-man job. You've got one guy holding the fish down, the other guy getting in there and getting that bait out with a pair of pliers that, we'll call it, suits the job, which is generally something with at least a 6-inch nose on it. So that's it, guys. When you go to release these fish with a treble hook bait, stay away from these guys. You're going to get caught with this. With that, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to get out and do some fishing now. Hopefully you get out on the water. If you do, we'll see you out there. Good luck.